everybody. Good morning. Thank you for being here. My name is Jade Amethyst. I am a resident of Seattle. I currently am a peer support specialist. I work with adults right now, with adults, and also do some peer work like on the side, like a little bit advocating. Um, let's see. My peer journey started back in 2012. Um, I was in a really horrible spot. Um, my grandmother, who had raised me, passed away, and I was also in school, and I was also in a really horrible like environment where the people who were helping me were not helping me and did not have the best interest in mind for me. So, um, and I realized I was in school, like thought like being in school was gonna help me like take like my mind away from um what's going on like outside in my environment, but no, it was just like making all my situations worse. And so my friend convinced me to go see a therapist, which I did. I was on Medicaid and was on assistance, and so I went to some mental health where um like talking to them, it was really intimidating at first. Like I pretty much like sobbed my first session because I was just like so scared, because I thought like they were gonna like judge me and um just like not really get like what I was going through, because also I was orphaned at a very young age. I was born 3 months early, and I lost my mom at age 9, and I was just like going through like a lot of like was going like through a lot of behavioral problems. Like I remember like being just like really angry and just very like just like suffered silently in school and adolescence. Um And when that all came up with like my therapist, and just like pretty much like every session I had, it was just sobbing and crying, and like a lot of like stuff from my past like came up. And he convinced me like to um join some groups, and which I did. Like I did like a group for like depression, and also like an art group where I got to express like more of myself, and just like and just like talking with other people, and just like hearing their stories. And the one of the facilitators like told my therapist like um I was watching Jane and how she interacts with people. Like she sits there and listens and is non-judgmental. And so my next like therapy appointment, like my very first appointment, like I did not cry. Um he um he said, yeah, your facilitator, the facilitator like talk to me and see how you interact with people and how I interact with you. And he said, have you ever thought of becoming a peer counselor? And I was just like, what is that? What do they do? And um, he was telling me it's just like what you're doing, and you get to work in a setting like we're at right now. And I was like thinking, oh no, like I was already getting my degree in business management, was gonna like start a business, and I was like going, oh no, do I have to like drop all my courses and take psychology courses? And he said, no, you just have to do a 40-hour course. And he helps me like sign up for the peer counseling course. And got I think it was like 3 weeks later, like I got a call saying that I was accepted, and I started their 40-hour course, and I learned a lot, and it was a really great experience. But I did not want to get a job. I still wanted to feel it out and get my feet wet. And so I was talking to the facilitator and asked, is there like um, places where I can intern and get experience as a peer um, counselor first before I take it on as a job. And so she gave me information. It was to Seattle Counseling Service and gave me the name of the deputy director, called him, and he invited me for an interview the next day. And I had a really good interview and accepted me as an intern. And I learned a lot in my internship. I pretty much like just pretty much like hit the ground running and was just um, starting like to get a grasp of it. And I was like, I actually really like it. And also it was a specialty. It was like LGBTQ, which also helped me like become more myself, more authentic and come out. And um, so I did a 6-month internship, and um, I when my internship ended, and he asked if he knows anybody that is hiring, and he told me like, well, we're actually going to hire you. And I was like, going, oh, cool. Okay. And so I didn't have to like look for a job. So after the internship, I was hired on, and I stayed there for 10 years until unfortunately they closed down back in 2022. And and then while I was like working for Seattle Counseling Service, like I ended up making like really, really good connections. I connected with like a lot of the local organizations. Like I got to participate in Pride and really learn what Pride was about. I got to be involved in Trans Pride, and also um create like my own. And also like when I was also in Seattle Counseling Service, I was also a fashion blogger too, so I was doing that and fashion blogging. And also like while I was doing fashion blogging, I got to share my experience as a peer support and also support other bloggers that were really going through like a tough time, because fashion and blogging, it's pretty much a cutthroat dog eat dog world. And a lot of the fashion bloggers like confided in me and just like felt they were just being shut out by the other bloggers because they didn't fit their mold. And I just like told them, like, if you are ever at a fashion show and if you see me sitting down or standing or talking to somebody, come over and you can sit with me. Um, you can come stand with me and we'll talk. I will support you. So I got to do that. And also like I also carried it. It led me to an opportunity to go to New York Fashion Week, where I also told them like what I do. And it was, I just like, didn't realize like when I was doing fashion blogging and peer support, and I got to be a peer support for some of the other bloggers that were feeling so left out, and how much of experience that how rewarding that experience was. And then um, this came about like 2018, when started feeling like the burnout, because I just like realized I feel like and actually I was told, and I thought they were pretty much like were bullshitting, excuse my language, that you're doing more work than you're doing more work than other people, which I realized that I was doing that, which I noticed that I was burning out. And then I was also part of another um, organization where the person that I was partnered with was not um, did not have the best intention, and pretty much like drained me like emotionally, where I went into like a downward spiral and went into like deep depression. And it lasted like, I don't know how long it lasted, like for a good long time, because I noticed that I didn't want to go out anymore. I just like stayed in bed. I just like went to work and went home. That was it. Didn't go out anywhere. And then and then it just like got worse, like when the pandemic hit, when we didn't get to like go, when the whole world was shut down. So that when I was starting to like to come out of my depression and my really dark hole, it sucked me back in with not being able to like to go outside, and that also lasted like another 2 years, and then I just and then the big, and also like another boat landed where in South Counseling decided like to close down, and um which was also devastating. And then I got like um took a few months off just to so I can like start managing my depression, um and then I ended up getting like another job at another organization where which was another blow because I experienced like extreme bullying, and also um very like racism, because I had like a coworker who was like like extremely racist and was just like bullying me and like harassing me, where I was starting to have suicidal thoughts, and was visiting my therapist like every week, and it was like the most time I've ever visited my therapist was like in that time was like every week, and he was starting like to worry about me. Um and then I was just like saying, you know what, that's it. Like, I can't do this anymore. So I ended up like leaving that job. And then I applied for the one I have currently, which I call this like a blessing, because I just like went on my day off, and I just like interviewed for the job, and they hired me on right away. They had to wait, but when I asked this when I got I was told this when I got hired, when the clinic manager said that they wanted to hire me right away because out of all the peers interviewed, I'm the one that really stood out. And that was my goal, is like for me to stand out. And I was just like, oh my God, yay. And and just like being here like at Valley City, I feel like I have a lot more opportunities. Um, um, I have my own very own space. I have my own office, which I've never had. I've never had my own office. I have like more responsibilities, and also I got to have like more trainings, and also like having a peer supervisor. I've never had a peer supervisor because like my last two peer jobs, I um, pretty much was like on my own and was just like a lot of researching. I think that's why like I have so much knowledge, because it was just like pretty much like the past like 10 years, it was like researching everything on what a peer does, and like attending as much training as I can. And now like here, like I don't have to do as much. It's just they just tell me like, oh, here's a training for you. And also, I'm in the apprenticeship program, which is amazing. And I just did a presentation with them last week, which was sharing like all the resources that were available to um, in my area, and there's so many, because a lot of people don't realize there's so many like resources. And I had a one of the one of my classmates is trans, and just moved here from Georgia, and did not realize that Seattle has a lot of resources for trans, and I end up like sending them to her. So um, and then now, like, I am working on getting my CPSS, and I'm also like gradually like working independently too, because I'm still connected with the friends that I met when I was at Seattle Counseling Service, and starting to like establish like my my own place in the community, and starting to go out in the community. And also I was like telling like Terry's earlier, like I started to notice like I'm going out more, I'm not as isolated, like what um I did something that I have not done like in 20 years, where like a friend texted me and asked if I wanted to go out last minute, which I did, and I had the most fun. And then I'm going out this weekend with friends, and then and I also like I booked myself like a solo vacation for Thanksgiving, so I am going out of town. And so pretty much what like I my goal is like to pretty much like give people hope and also like resiliency, like no matter like what like life comes at you, like you will always be able to get out of it. Like it and it doesn't matter like how you get out, it's like when you get out of it. And also to practice like mindfulness, like how you feel, like how your body feels, like and I did that when I went out this weekend, and I noticed that like I was like a lot more upbeat and a lot more cheerful when I this whole week, usually especially like on a Monday where it's like the hardest day. And it to me is like, what is this? Like, why am I cheerful on a Monday? I'm supposed to be like leave me alone. But no, it's just been it's just been like a good week like so far. And I'm actually pretty much am loving loving life right now, even though like it's okay to have like your moments, but celebrate those wins.